I like Crunchyroll.
Mob Psycho! So I think Mob Psycho was actually a tie with Yuri on Ice, which I think I'll be doing next. So hold out on that. So a lot of people are comparing this series to One Punch Man, and the reason why is because One Punch Man started out as this kind of really crappy looking gag comic, like a web comic online, which is created anonymously under the pseudonym One. And this one manga artist is the same person who actually started the Mob Psycho 100 webcomic as well. So if people are seeing a lot of similarities, it's because the source material is from the same person. But that doesn't mean that it's not its own thing. Similarly with One Punch Man, Mob Psycho 100 is fun because although the main characters seem really overpowered, you still really don't know what's gonna happen in each episode. And I guess just a little bit about the manga artist One. I say that his art is crappy, but in reality, there are some panels that are drawn really, really well. So I am under the impression that this artist is capable of drawing super, super well, but just is not, because he doesn't give a shit knickers. Now, back in the day when I was a student, I was a linguistics major, so I'm gonna nerd out over the wording here a little bit. So the main character's name, they call him Mobu, and that's taken from the English word mob. In modern English, it basically means a crowd of people, but normally a crowd of people that is trying to hurt you. And Mobu, being one character, is obviously not a crowd of people, but they actually use the word Mobu to describe people behind the main character that are walking back and forth in the background. Like in Japanese, they call them Mobu. So basically they call the main character that because he's pretty normal looking. He's got that unfortunate haircut, and he doesn't really stand out much. Oh my gosh! Mob Psycho was animated by the studio Bones, I believe, which has always been well known for making it look really fluid. And even though the frame count is much lower than, say, One Punch Man, they still managed to make it pretty fluid looking in my opinion. And the fight scenes are still really awesome. Check it out. And I think that's it for me today, but before I go, somebody asked me about this baby right here. This is actually a Cintiq 22 HD Touch. I'm going to show you some of the stuff that I've made. This is a screenshot, so hopefully the resolution isn't too bad. Yeah, I can talk about a little bit how I made the background and stuff if you guys are interested. If you're not, then I'll just leave it alone. But anyway, bye. For some of you guys who are my friends, you probably heard me say this story over and over and over, but it's just such a good example about how there's a lot of words in Japanese that are borrowed from English, but they take the word and just completely change the meaning, and it's always hilarious for English speakers. So for example, I was at this gaijin bar when I was in Japan, and you know, I'm having a good time and having my drink, and then like this really super cute, petite Japanese woman just walked up to me, and she was pretty tipsy and she was having a good time too. And so she started talking to me, and you know, she kind of looked at me and said, "Oh, I really like your body style." And I just thought, oh, I might have misheard her. My what? And she said, "Your body style." And I thought, well, what does that mean? And so she tried to explain it to me, and from what I gathered, it basically meant body proportions. And she's saying that like, oh, you know, gaijin women and men, they have such good body proportions. So, you know, in Japanese we say it's good body style. And then I asked her, I'm like, well, you know, don't sell yourself short because you're pretty cute. You have a nice body. And then she just looked at me and said, no, Japanese women, they have big head and small body, like anime. And at that point, I was taking a sip and it just sprayed all out because it was funny as hell at the time.